Turns out he'd even take people's money. Like, he would promise writers to make their movie, take their hundreds of thousands of dollars, and it would be like a trust fund or like a money that these people had when they came to Hollywood and they want to make something, and they would trust this guy and give the money to him. And then when it came to shoot, there was no money. The money was gone to fund his lifestyle. Okay, I'm so excited because karma is such a good thing. It really works. I've always stood by karma. Stories that we hear growing up, how the antagonists get punished and protagonists get the happy ending. That's exactly how life works. And believe me, okay? Trust me on this. I'm gonna tell you all kinds of personal and professional stories. And I'm a screenwriter in Hollywood, so some of these professional experiences are gonna be very interesting. So I'm gonna tell you how it works professionally and personally, and how you don't have to get any revenge, because karma will do it for you. Hello, and welcome back to a Screenwriter's Secret Diary podcast. Today we're talking about karma, and I'm so happy because it is related to our careers. Usually I share the behind the scenes of working in Hollywood, what happened with the strike, why are Hollywood movies failing, why is living in Los Angeles kinda sucks, and life lessons. So let's get started with karma, because it's really working out for me. Now, karma and I go way back. I first learned about it when I cheated on someone back in high school, okay? And I know cheating is not good, but I swear to God, I was trying to break up for so long. Like, I was trying to break up with this guy, and this guy would just plead and plead and plead, and then I was such a people pleaser, so I couldn't just leave, and I kept feeling sorry for him, but at the end, like, you kind of have to break up, or you're gonna go find someone else and move on, and suddenly you're gonna break up. So suddenly someone I liked a year ago, before I dated this other guy, suddenly he came to me confessing his feelings, and I was like, oh, he loves me, I love him too. And then we kiss, and then I call my current boyfriend at that time, and I'm like, hey, I literally tell him exactly what happened. I kissed him, this happened, that happened. He's like very sad, and then I tell him this is not gonna work. He's still telling me on the phone that it's okay, we will make it work, and I'm like, I'm just telling you, I don't feel anything for you. Can we like stop? So I didn't feel a thing for this great guy. Like, he was such a good person, but I like bad boys, what can I say? I literally did that. I left a good guy for a bad guy, but it's okay. I was happy. I was finally getting the excitement I needed during that time, and I never felt bad, which made me sad later, you know, because karma comes. 11 months later, after a very happy time that I had with this guy, 11 months later, he cheated on me with a Russian girl during the summer break. After this happened, I was like, this is literal karma. That's crazy. Like, I cheated, I didn't feel bad, I got cheated on, and he didn't feel bad. I deserve it. I really did deserve it. I'm happy that it happened, because it actually made me realize karma is real. Like, at that time, I kept telling my mom and some of my friends, like, look what I did and what happened. There's like some type of divine justice out there, you know. I was really like waking up to this fact that this is real. That was my first time meeting karma. But sometimes it's not a very quick thing. Sometimes you have to let it play out for like years and years and years, and then it happens. That's also when I realized I don't have to get revenge. I don't have to do anything. Revenge will be served to the person when it's time. That's really important, because back then in high school, I was also trying to be a BookTok villain. Let's be like, I loved Cruella. You know, I was just like in my villain era, we can say. And I was kind of thinking about revenge, like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And my actions would be defined by who's done me wrong. It was that type of times, okay? Don't judge me. Yeah, I was big on revenge. Like, someone would call me a name and I'd go and get my revenge by doing something like make sure everybody hated them. Like, for example, if someone bullied me, I would make sure to serve them to the bullies myself, like call them a name or fake something about them, and then the bullies would come after them because they called me a name. I'm sorry, that's just how I was, and I'm okay with admitting it online. Let's go crazy. So cut to, now I'm in Los Angeles. I'm a screenwriter and director, and I work with a lot of people, and some are really great people. Like, they're just chill, they don't mean anything bad to anyone, and most of the time their life is good because they're putting good out there and they're receiving good. And then there are some really bad people, like big producers, who screw you over. They promise to pay you something and then they don't pay, and then they have this big ego. On the film set, you do them a favor by being there on a very low budget, very low paid set, and your food is like a side salad and a piece of bread. That literally happens a lot, and that's very disrespectful. But you see these people getting their karma oh so painfully, and it's so satisfying to see that. Like, I'm sorry, but it is very satisfying to see that happen to these people who really fucking deserve it. They get what they deserve because I feel like there's something out there, okay? Universe, energy, whatever you want to call it. It's making sure that everyone is getting their divine karma. It's almost like you get what you put out there. So let me tell you a story. There was this big time producer, we'll call him Hell, because he was literally the hell itself. Like, he unleashed hell upon my friends, so I'm gonna call him Hell. I never got good energy from him. Like, every time I met him or every time I saw him, I was like, there's something wrong with him, but I never thought he was gonna do something like what he did. Hell is also someone who produced blockbuster movies, by the way, worked with A-list actors, so you guys know the movies he made, and if you look him up, you would know him. So I'm not telling you the real name of this guy. So Hell wanted to make some extra cash on the side, and in the process screwed over a lot of people, just like Ellen DeGeneres during the COVID lockdown. Remember that? She replaced all her loyal workers, and she basically hired low-paid non-union workers just to pay less while she's sitting in her big millionaire home, and she has like millions in the bank. So think of that. So this Hell guy did something very similar, which a lot of like bad producers out here do to indie people. That happens a lot, unfortunately. But he hired non-union workers, promised to pay them something, which was extra low, but you know, people still want to work with a name. So because this guy is a name, they agreed to it. And then months later, he didn't pay anyone. Even the big name actors involved in his projects were left asking, hey, where's our money, my guy? You promised me, what's going on? At the same time, Hell had the audacity to set up a Patreon asking for ridiculous amounts of money from the audience just to like support the show. He would be like, oh, we can't do this, we need you. And then the workers, the non-union workers and actors would think like, oh, he's getting Patreon money, so he's gonna pay us. Nope. He was addicted to something and he was using that money for that. That's what was going on. Later, it's revealed like that. So the most important part of the story is my close friend who was owed $40,000 for months and months of work. Like, we're talking about 8 to 10 months of work. I know I told this friend like not to do it. I was like, hey, please quit. He's not paying. Like, you're just wasting your time. But this Hell guy was some type of a narcissist. He would like make promises, but you know, when the time came, like he would pay my friend with some meals. He would make promises. He would complain about how money is so tight, and I'm gonna tell you when I'm gonna pay you when this happens, when that happens, when that happens. Unfortunately, my friend kept falling for it until I literally was like, no. And like, I remember also like sub stories, you know, like, oh, sad stories, like this happened to me, my wife did this, my wife did that. And then after a while, finally I convinced my close friend to stop working. Like, literally, do not go to work until you're fully paid. I thought the Hell guy would pay at that point because he needed him, but no, he basically found a student to do my friend's job for free. And because they have a name, students are like, oh, I'm gonna work with this and this producer. Oh, I'm gonna go to it. Yeah, dude, I don't need money. It's gonna be my big break. it's not gonna be your big break. Don't do it. I'm gonna make an episode about when to say no to unpaid work and when to say yes to unpaid work. So stay tuned for that. Make sure to subscribe, make sure to follow so you don't miss that. That's a very important episode and no one ever tells you this, okay? So there was some stuff going on in the background, like he didn't pay anyone, and then Americans who hell screwed up started to sue him one by one. In the meantime, his show's quality started to go down. Like his show sucked so bad because there were no proper people and crew members hired. He was taking students who were just learning how to light, so the lights sucked. The Patreon shut down and the audience members started to kind of go missing and didn't care about the show anymore. And one by one, as he's being sued, we were thinking, oh, sweet karma. Thank you. But damn, karma didn't stop there. Not only people from the show sued him, but also people from all different shows and movies started to sue him. Turns out, he'd even take people's money, like he would promise writers to make their movie, take their hundreds of thousands of dollars, like 100K, 200K, 300K, 500K, and it would be like a trust fund or like a money that these people had when they came to Hollywood and they wanted to make something, and they would trust this guy and give the money to him. And then when it came to shoot, there was no money. The money was gone to fund his lifestyle, because this guy actually lives very like big lifestyle. So his court hearings were all in public, like you can watch it on YouTube literally, and he got fucked over. He even went to prison several times. That is karma. In my personal life, just last week, which by the way, literally inspired this episode, I saw karma work once again in the perfect way. And this is a karma I've been waiting for years. Finally, it started. It didn't fully come to fruition. It didn't fully happen, but it just started with the perfect way. Like it was the perfect way to start these people's karma. These are people who literally robbed me, robbed my family, and robbed my life. I'm not even being dramatic. I'm gonna tell you guys about this when I can talk about this after these courts and everything, But subscribe and turn on the notification bell, because I'm gonna talk a lot about this when the time comes. So these thieves have been getting away with so many things that they've done to many people, including me. And the biggest one is literally me, because they've stolen so much more from me and my family, more than they stole from anyone else. Suddenly last week, a person working in the justice system woke up to the fact that these thieves have been lying about something and did some big mistakes in the math of it all, like the numbers of delivery. Sorry, I can't share the details. This person in the justice system woke up, called other lawyers, and right now there's a huge public case against these criminals. So they are facing the loss of their entire lives, their entire stolen stuff, and they are facing some real big criminal charges right now. Like, it's crazy, because I was not thinking anyone was gonna wake up, because they were being smart about it and they were able to kind of make themselves look better and make me look bad, like for some reason. Like, they were really good at that. So what I did was, oh my God, I'm gonna tell you exactly what I did. I let go. Okay, we're gonna talk about this in a bit. Let me finish the story. So they're facing criminal charges, and I don't want to show this as the reason for what happened, but last week, right before this karma started to happen, I helped a homeless woman on the street, and she looked terrible. It was really hot because it's the middle of the summer in California. I went in and got her food and water. Like, it was the easiest thing to do. I'm not saying it like it's a big thing. It's the easiest thing that I can do. If I earn a bit more than what what I have to earn to sustain myself, then I'm gonna give it back to someone, or some people, or some animals, or whatever it is, like charities, people in need. That's how I grew up. So I saw her and I saw a perfect opportunity, like, hey, I can help this person. That was the only reason why I did it. But I feel like the universe has a way of giving this good karma back to you in ways that you never expected to get back to you. There's some divine justice out there, aka karma. And it looks out for everyone. And I don't think karma serves you. I think karma serves karma, you know? Karma doesn't serve anyone specifically. It finds everyone. If you are a good person, then good karma will always find you. Even if you go through pain in life, there will be good karma coming. Like, it is true. And then if you're a bad person, you keep doing bad, you just keep getting bad happen to you. You keep getting tricked. You keep having bad friends. You keep having bad relationships. So instead of taking revenge, I want you to, no, don't forgive the person. Like, fuck that. Everyone is like, oh, forgive that person. No. Why would you do that? They don't deserve your forgiveness. But I want you to let it go. Let it be. Journal about it. Journal about your feelings. Sometimes it'll come up, like some here and there you might feel like, oh, why did this happen to me? I'm the victim. Like, why did they do this to me? Write it out. It's okay. Write it out and then let it go. And then it'll come again the next day. Write it out. Let it go. Okay? Like, letting it go doesn't mean like, I let it go, now I'm free. No, but yeah, it'll happen if when you notice that it's coming up and you let it go, then yes, eventually there will be a week where you didn't even think about this and you're like, oh, I didn't think about that for an entire week. And that's when you know you let it go. So the first step is literally letting it go. Channel that energy into helping someone instead. How about that? Every time you think about it, go to Indiegogo if you're a filmmaker and give $5 to one of the films you love out there. How about that? Help someone with the fundraising of a movie. Like, do something, $5, $2, whatever it is. Help someone. For example, I was in such a bad place in 2020. Like, I was almost breaking into Hollywood, like selling my TV show. I was on the verge of it. And then suddenly, COVID lockdown fucked everything up. I was struggling really bad. I was depressed, but I believe in karma. So what I was doing is I was opening Indiegogo and other fundraising websites for films and TV shows and web series and mostly like indie projects. And I was in a really bad place. Like, I had to budget accordingly to be able to eat dinner that day. It was really, really bad. But I would still give $10, $20 to one of the projects that I liked. I did this almost every week, or if not every month. Like, if I forgot about it for a while, I would be like, hey, I didn't do this, and then go on there and give people some money so I can support their genuine artistic expression. That's what we're all about over here. And I knew that good karma would return to me someday. And I wasn't really crazy about it. I was like, why aren't you returning already? It's been a week. I helped this guy. No, let it go. Again, letting it go is the biggest practice. Know that it is on the way. It's almost like manifesting, right? You know that it's on the way. It's okay. And it really did return. It is still returning every single day. I'm in such a good place in the independent side of Hollywood. And I feel like I was supposed to be on the independent side because I have values. And at this point in time, Hollywood doesn't have the same values. So me joining Hollywood right now doesn't really make sense. I really love the indie world, and I feel like me investing in those indie projects released some type of energy into the universe, and I got it back. Like, I got it back 10 folds, as people say, 20 folds, more like 100,000 folds. It's really, really, really true that karma is real. And I'm in such a good place right now. I have time to share my journey with newer artists, newer filmmakers, or aspiring writers and actors who want to hear the truth. I have this opportunity on my podcast and YouTube to reflect on my experiences. But if I make it like millionaire make it, I cannot wait to give back and help people. Like, that is very, very important for me. I can't wait to fund projects that are made with artistic expression of your artistic soul, because I think giving is caring. And giving is also receiving. Whatever you give, you literally receive. Whatever you put out there comes back to you. So if you steal, deceive people, then misfortune and really bad things will keep following you. You can trust no one around you because you're the deceiver, you are the thief, and people around you tend to be the thief, tend to be your karma. It's so true. And if you help people, love people, and you have kindness in your heart, then you receive kindness and love back. So what's the takeaway here? Don't waste your energy on revenge. Focus on doing good and helping others for the sake of helping others. It's gonna make you feel good. Like, that's the most important part of it all. It makes you feel good. Like the fact that I helped that beautiful homeless woman who is suffering a lot. I can see that. Like, I was so sad. I am still thinking about her every day. I hope to see her again, and I hope she's in a better place right now. But me helping that woman almost like generated this. Now 2 people were happy. 2 people gave each other something. She gave me her smile, I gave her food and water, and that exchange generated some type of energy. And the next day I literally got a call from someone saying these thieves are now facing criminal charges, and it's very serious. That's crazy to me. Like, all these years it wouldn't happen, but it happens right after that day. Like, there is something out there. And the biggest takeaway I want you to get is truth will always come out in time. Don't mess with the timing of it. The revenge or the karma will come for them when it's time. Don't try to mess with it the way I did back in high school, when I would like try to get the revenge from those people who wronged me. No, I don't care anymore. Thank God I grew up, but you don't have to do that. I know you have feelings. It's okay to feel negative feelings. Just write about it. Sometimes I feel jealous about someone and then I write about it. And then what I do is, which we should talk about this in another video, turn that jealousy into a good feeling. Like, I'm actually proud of her for making it happen. I'm actually very hopeful that this person made it, because that gives me hope too. Like, someone with an accent made it somewhere, let's say. I can be jealous. I can be like, that bitch. But I am not. It actually gives me hope because, hey, I have an accent too, and I'm trying to embrace it, and I'm trying to be okay with it. And here is this big person with an amazing accent, and they made it. So the world is not a bad place. It should give you hope. So definitely don't waste your time with thinking negative thoughts. But when they come in, make sure to journal. Let it go. Help someone. You can literally do this. Like, whenever you feel something negative, help someone. Like, go out there. Like, there are so many people, please. There are so many people or animals who need help. It might even be if you are outside of US and there are street animals in your country. Give them food and water. My mom and I literally travel around. When I visit back home in Istanbul, we travel around with huge packs of dog and cat food. And then we give it to animals that we see on the side of the road. Like, we would literally stop and give them food and water. Even that is good karma, being aware of what's going on around you. You see an animal hurt, you take them to the vet. Like, what's with that? How many times did I take birds to vets, like wild birds that I saw, and I would take them to the vet to make sure they were okay. So many birds died in my arms, me trying to save them. I saw a street dog about to be murdered by a man when I ran over, pushed that man, and I literally carried this dog. Was so huge, I don't know what got into me. I carried the dog back to my car, and I literally took that dog in. Like, my parents were like, what are you doing? Well, we have a new dog. Someone was about to kill this dog and I got him. Like, that's how you can care. That's how you can be aware of what's going on outside and help people. And instead of taking revenge, just make sure your heart is good. Your heart stays good. Because those of us who have good hearts and your heart stays good, not only will you get good karma, but also people who do really bad things to you will also get what they deserve. It really is true. Believe me. Trust me. And if you want me to talk more about this, let me know in the comments. Let me know if you've ever experienced any good or bad karma. Because I told you guys, like, I cheated on someone. I got cheated on. Someone stole something from me. Now they got their karma. So, like, I'm on both sides where I receive bad or good karma based on what I do, based on my actions. Actions speak louder than words. So thanks for tuning in for this episode of a Screenwriter's Secret Diary podcast. Make sure to follow this podcast, turn on the notification bell. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcast, rate this podcast 5 stars because it really helps me. If you're watching on YouTube, like this video, comment below. Let me know your thoughts, and make sure to share this episode with someone who's going through something that they want to get revenge. But hey, stop them, okay? Stop them by sending this video. Thank you, and see you next time.